Okay, this is using up the leftover palette from yesterday. So before it dries, because I hate to waste all that paint. So I'll show you at the end the painting from yesterday, which is totally different colors, but this is the same mixed palette. I marked off a 5x7, two 5x7s on a sheet of Arches oil paper, and I just began to put marks down and colors down. Actually, I was just using up the colors that I had the most mixture. I didn't know where I was going to end up, and I didn't have a plan. I was just feeling it and working it. So as you see, it really looks like a big mess. I'm trying to cover the paper, putting some marks on. This is mark making with a skewer and then a pencil. And that's just breaking up the space and giving more interest to the space that's there. And then I go back to the squeegee and I begin to add more of the color in. So I added a little bright color. And as I say, I don't really have a plan at this point. I'm not seeing anything. I'm not saying this is a landscape, a total abstract. I'm just seeing where it wants to go. So as you can see, mostly the color I had left was the blue and the red. The mixed colors that I did from yesterday's, that were the pretty greens and yellows, were pretty much mixed up, used up. So this is a little bit of the violet color that was from the blue and the red. And the red I had used was naphtha red, so I love that, the vibrancy of that color. It's really pretty, even mixed down with white. I speeded it up a bit so that it wouldn't be so boring, but I'm not having enough to say on the voiceover to really give you a lot of information. But I did mark off the paper to a little larger than 5x7, so it could be put in a mat. It could be put in one mat with two windows, or side by side, or it could be mounted on a board. This is a palette knife that I love to use. It's a square edged palette knife, and it lifts up the paint so pretty all the way down to the lower layer, and I love that look that it gives. I use it all the time. There wasn't a lot of layers on this, so it didn't give me a lot of color, but it did give me texture and variance of marks. At this point, I'm probably mixing up adding a little bit more white on my palette, because I need to mix some of the lighter colors, the lighter blue and the lighter orange. So I'm not painting because I'm mixing the palette here. There we go, that's what I was doing. This is a cleaner, lighter blue that I'm pulling into it. And because it is over wet paint, I will pick up with that palette knife, I'll pick up some of the paint underneath. But I let it happen. I just see where it goes with it. And I like the changes in it. But it's not all just a blue square. It has some of the other colors mixed in it. And I decided to just scumble some of that undertone, that red, over the dark, just to kind of connect all of it together. And then of course I can scratch through it again to come down to the dark if that's what I decide I need to do. Just getting a lot of opaque color on top to stand on top, and then the other color is still showing through from the bottom. And like I said, it'll allow me to scratch through to some of that. I like to think about shapes when I'm painting like this, and sizes. So I've got a variant of rectangular shapes and squares. And I did a few circles, so I probably will do, I'm pretty sure I did a few more circles in this with the palette knife. And again, I start to scratch away some of that opaque paint and expose the underpainting colors. So now it begins to look more like a landscape to me because I did these vertical lines through it, and they always indicate trees to me. There I'm adding the circles and a little asemic writing and just marks and scratches. Alright, I decided that I liked that, and let's see what kind of composition it really does have it when I remove the tape. And there you go. So it is 2 5x7 landscapes. And I think I'm going to call it fire season. We had all the fires recently. There was the palette quickly because I speeded it up. I'm sorry about that. Maybe you can pause it to see.